About 3 months ago, I had a video where I showed you the best competitive settings for CS, and over the time, I have to say I've changed a couple of stuff. I tried some new stuff, for example, went back from 4:3 stretch to 16:9 aspect ratio, and I stopped using mouse accel. So I would say let's go right into the contents of this video. Don't forget that I'm still collecting questions for my Q&A special. You can leave them here on the thank you video or on my Discord below. And don't forget that I'm giving away a knife for the end of January. So I would say let's get right into my settings. We're going to be starting off with the video section. As I mentioned, I play 16:9. I have a resolution of 1440p and my monitor refresh rate is at 180 Hz. Moving on to the advanced video section here, I have boost player contrast on, and from my frame pacing, I have V-Sync turned off because of the latency issue, and my monitor is a G-Sync monitor, so that is why I use G-Sync. But if you have an AMD graphics card, I highly recommend that you use the FreeSync technology of that monitor. I also have the reflex low latency on, and for the FPS, yeah, I capped it in the menu, and 1000 FPS, I'm not gonna reach that even with my rig. Moving on to the presets, if you want to go for a performance build, I would recommend these following settings. Basically everything is turned off except the shadows, since they give you an advantage if they're on, and having them turned off is just a blatant disadvantage for you. However, if you have a more stronger PC, I recommend turning basically everything up. You will have a noticeable performance dip. The last time I've done the tests, I had around minus 200 FPS, but I still had over 300 at that point, and I did that test with my old graphics card, which was a 3080. Then moving on over to the audio, this is basically how everything's set up. I think I haven't messed around a lot with it, to be honest, since I have to say I'm happy with as it is. It's performing pretty good. I also use the special settings from my Razer Synapse software for my headset. However, I've just selected the preset that they gave me and I'm fine with that. For the voice section of this, I've left it as it is. I haven't done anything on it. For the music, I've turned a lot of things down. Just the one thing that is important to me that I have up is a 10-second warning. I have that at 10%, and I think for me that's loud enough. The MVP volume is a bit higher for me since I love my music kit, but the only really important thing here is to have that 10-second warning on, so it's audible. However, it shouldn't be so loud that you cannot hear the game anymore. Moving over to the game. Here, what I've done, my max acceptable ping, I've turned that down as far as I could with the slider, but to be honest, this was a bigger thing back then in CSGO, and I think nowadays you have such a low connection to the server that I think these settings would even need to be reduced further down to maybe a 10 milliseconds maximum delay. Then for the max acceptable traffic bandwidth, I put that on unrestricted, since I want my connection from my PC to the router to be the priority one. I've also set it up in the router settings that my PC has priority, since I want my packets to be sent as fast as possible to the server and back. Then for the other settings, I haven't touched those two, the buffering and the Counter-Strike workshops, I haven't touched those. And the next one is especially important for the Intel CPUs out there, especially the 12th to 14th gen. If you have the P cores, I would say set them to either preferred, or if you have multiple P cores, so if you are running 8 P cores, I would just go with performance cores only, since that is the most important thing. I'm guessing because of all of that controversy with the Intel CPUs, most of the people are running AMDs at the moment. And since AMD doesn't have P cores and T cores, it doesn't really matter the setting for you. Then for the next thing, the crosshair, these are just my settings. For a lot of people, they have asked me in the comment section below what my crosshair style is. Here is everything you need to know, but to be honest, I think you should find out yourself what the best crosshair is for you. This is what I use, and I'm at the moment just used to it. Then the next thing, the damage predictions. I've done a couple of videos on that, on how it works, and I've also done a 2 weeks update after using the system daily. And as you can see, I have it still turned on, everything. I think it is a good software, especially if you have a pretty good internet connection, especially if you have everything set that your PC has priority on your network and you use LAN cables, since you have even less packet loss over the cable. And for my last thing, my mouse sensitivity, I have it set to 1600 dpi on the mouse, FPS, and in-game it is at 0.5 with a zoom multiplier of 1.0. So those are my settings. If you want to copy them, go ahead. Are you playing any differently? If yes, let me know down in the comments below. I'm really interested to hear how everyone else is playing. We have heard from so many pros and their weird setups on how they use their keyboards or mouse sensitivity. That is why I'm very eager to hear how you play. Anyways, don't forget about the giveaway of the beautiful knife. There are also interesting events in the Discord. Don't forget to leave your questions down below in the description. And as always, don't forget to subscribe, like, and hit the notification bell. And I will see you guys on the next one.